Bienvenidos and welcome to another episode of Spain on a Fork. Once again, as you can see, we are in another new kitchen, and to kick things off, we've got a delicious recipe. We're talking a Spanish chickpea and potato stew. This is known in Spain as un potaje de garbanzos y patatas. And let me tell you, this is another dish from the humble Spanish kitchen, where less is more and the simple things are the best things, as it's made with very basic ingredients, effortless to put together, and it's all done in about 30 minutes. Folks serve the stew as a first course, like they do in Spain, followed up by some grilled chicken or fish, or even as a main course next to a garden salad and a crunchy baguette. Either way, this stew's packed with a ton of flavors, and is the kind of food that's gonna fill your body with so much goodness. All right, let's just dive right into this recipe. I'm gonna heat a stock pot with a medium heat, and add in 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 45 milliliters. While the oil is heating, I'm going to cut 2 slices from a baguette, each one being 2 centimeters thick, which is about 3/4 of an inch, and removing the skins from 3 cloves of garlic. Then we'll add the ingredients into the stock pot, and we're going to fry the slices of baguette and the cloves of garlic between 4 to 5 minutes or until they're golden fried all around. In the meantime, let's get the rest of our ingredients ready. I'm going to finely chop 1 small onion, roughly chop 4 cloves of garlic, and we'll also cut 2 medium-sized potatoes that have already been peeled, washed, and patted dry, each one to bite-sized pieces that are 2 centimeters thick, which once again is about 3/4 of an inch. For this recipe, important to use potatoes that are a bit more waxy than starchy, as they hold their shape better when they're cooking. I'm using Yukon Gold potatoes, but you can also use new potatoes, Golden Delight, or even red potatoes. Once the slices of baguette and the cloves of garlic are golden fried, we'll remove them from the stock pot and transfer them into a mortar and then set it aside. Now, using the same pan with the same heat, we'll add in the chopped onion and garlic. And we'll mix the ingredients around continuously, that way they don't brown too quickly and they all evenly saute. After about 3 to 4 minutes and the onion is nice and translucent, I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 2.5 grams, and half a teaspoon of ground cumin, which is about 1 gram. And we'll give it a quick mix, that way the paprika and cumin are evenly coating the garlic and onion. As always, the Spanish paprika I'm using is from Kiva, link where you can get some in the description box below, and if you buy it from that link, you'll also get 25% off your order. Then we'll add in 2 tomatoes that have been finely grated. You can substitute this for a 1/4 cup of canned tomato sauce or passata, which is about 65 grams. And we'll season generously with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a mix until everything's well mixed together, and then simmer it for a couple minutes without mixing the mixture. While the grated tomato is simmering, I'm going to crack open 2 cans of chickpeas, drain them into a colander, and rinse the chickpeas under some water. The size of the cans that I'm using are 15.5 ounces, which is 440 grams each. Of course, to make this recipe, you can also use dried chickpeas. You soak them overnight in plenty of water, and then simmer them the following day between 1 to 2 hours or until they're nice and tender. Okay, let's move back to the stock pot. Once the grated tomato has slightly thickened, it's been about 3 to 4 minutes, I'm going to add in the pieces of potato, the drained chickpeas, and just enough vegetable broth to barely cover the ingredients, which is 3 cups in my case, or 720 milliliters. Of course, you can use other liquids to make this stew, such as chicken broth, beef broth, or even water if you like. Either way, recipe on how to make my homemade veggie broth in the description box below. Then we'll add in 1 bay leaf, turn it up to a high heat, and give it a gentle mix. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to place the lid on the stock pot, and we'll lower it to a low-medium heat and simmer it between 15 to 20 minutes until the potatoes are just cooked through. In the meantime, let's move back to the mortar with the pieces of fried baguette and garlic. I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of chopped fresh parsley, which is about 8 grams. You can substitute this for half a teaspoon of dried parsley, which is half a gram. And a little pinch of sea salt. And using a pestle, we'll pound down on the ingredients until we form a paste-like texture. If you don't have a mortar and pestle, no big deal. You can also use a food processor here, a handheld blender, or even a NutriBullet. Alright, let's move back to the stew. After simmering it for about 20 minutes, those potatoes should be perfectly cooked through. You know, you can always pierce them with a fork or even with a toothpick, and if it easily goes in there but with a little resistance, the potatoes are ready to go. For the next step, I'm going to add in the bread and garlic mixture, and we'll give it one final mix until everything's well mixed together. And let me tell you, that bread and garlic mixture is not going to only help thicken the stew, but it's going to give it a beautiful lift of flavors. Then we'll remove the stock pot from the heat, transfer some of the stew into a shallow bowl, and we'll garnish with some fresh parsley. Check it out, Spanish chickpea and potato stew, potaje de garbanzos y patatas. Super easy to make, the most humblest ingredients, and all done in a little over 30 minutes. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. Once again, folks, potaje de garbanzos con patatas. This I cannot wait to try, as it's got 2 of my all-time favorite ingredients, potatoes and chickpeas. Big bite, here we go. Oh my goodness, we are in for a treat today. That right there is absolutely delicious. And like I told you at the beginning, with each spoonful, it fills your body with so much goodness. Once again, serve this as a first course, like they do in Spain. Follow it up by either some grilled chicken or grilled fish, or even as a main course. Either way, make sure to enjoy this next to a bottle of Spanish wine. More specifically from the region of Yecla, in the region of Murcia, you're gonna have yourself one of the best meals ever. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Lars Lackman, Barry B. Markovich, Michael Macaulay, and Ronald Kemp. And guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and as always, don't forget to smash that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, and click on that bell icon, that we can get notified every time I release new content, and to become a part of the Spain on a Fork family. Till the next time, hasta luego.